Now, up until about the age of 14, maybe 13, I was a straight A student. No truancy problems, right? No problems with truancy. No behavioral problems, fights and talking back to the teacher and passing notes and talking out of turn and all this kind of stuff. Now, mind you, I say, don't let it fly over your head. Straight A student. Ain't no internet. Ain't no internet. Parents too damn cheap to get a nigga a calculator. Did a lot of that on scratch paper and on my fingers. Mathematics. Now, I myself was this small, observing Jimmy Jr., Wale, especially back then, with them especially, because Mac used to be real cool and chill. So I ain't about 3 or 4. And they used to play rough. They run around the house bumping and stuff, knocking stuff down. You bloom, 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 you hear the walls and 2, 3 rooms down that way. You hear the aunts and uncles and grandparents and all, hey, hey, hey. Cut that out, what y'all doing that? So I knew that if I ever had to fight one of them, I was gonna have to damn them. I had to kill them. Even people my age, because I'm a very small person. Naturally, I had to do push-ups and pull-ups and isometrics to get this, right? Bad back, bad knees. That was my leg, look chicken leg right now. Now, I'm this big and I didn't ask. I politely instructed my mother to put me in a martial arts class. She laughed. She said it's too expensive. I believed it. I had no idea that senseis and whatnot, shihans and whatnot were teaching even free, especially people that small. Go to the Y somewhere. A lot of people, I met Sensei Jerry Denson in like 2003. I brought that Mitsubishi in 2003. As I went to class, finally, a year or 2 later, 3 years later, he started talking about one of his first teachers. He was in a clique called the Ghetto Fighters. My sensei is out of, I'm trying to say the pod, over town, but they split it and had the young nigga split it in half, Bucktown and the swamps. I think my sensei from the swamps. I think. He might be from Bucktown. But back in his day, they didn't say Bucktown and swamp, but they had the Sharks and all them type of gangs and stuff back then when he was young coming up. But he told us about Sensei Baby Doll, Sensei Rennie. And their particular clique was called the Ghetto Fighters. And at one point, I remember he said he used to teach free. They didn't have to pay Sensei Rennie. And I'm sitting here, 30-something-year-old man, listening to this. I had to be younger than 33. I was 30. 2006, I was 33. So 2003, I'm 30 years old. I get to be 30 years old and realize right in the Miami area, it was somebody teaching free. Somebody very famous. Most people who was born in like the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, a lot of them, their first teacher was Sensei, well, Grandmaster now, Herbie Thompson. Who probably like 10th or 12th Dan right now. But they call him Sensei Herb and egg juice and stuff like that. People who more close to his age, right? And was under him when he was just Sensei Herb. Now he's like definitely Grandmaster Sensei Herbie Thompson. Many people, their story is that he was the only one they knew teaching in all Miami. This had to be like the 60s or the 70s. Don't quote me on that. But it was back. I got a cat named Rahman. Rahman, I met him, Masjid Al-Ansar, actually. Rahman had a story about he was walking one day as a child, and he heard, Kia! In the distance. And it sounded like a whole lot of people saying at the same time. And he followed the Kia. And when he got there, he seen a whole lot of people, and it was since Grandmaster Herbie Thompson was teaching the class. That's how he started. Now, also as a youth, about 5 or 6, I wanted a telescope and a microscope. Not a toy, not a baby doll, not a little puppy. Now, you would think parents would be very happy that a child that small would want a microscope and a telescope and not a toy, especially for making grades like that. That sounds like maybe a doctor or something. You would think. I didn't get that. So like I said in the previous post, it starts at home. I came to know and not believe. I came to know only years and years down into the future that really and truly what was going on was my father really wanted us to go to the military. His family, for generations, they went to the military. Many of his siblings and cousins, his uncles and all this kind of third, fourth, that's all every time you meet somebody, it's Colonel such and such. You know, Sergeant such and such. If it ain't military, it's police. He loves, I don't want to use that term because that's Inquisition and agent of Rome. That's U.S. Foreign colonial European military occupation. But my grandfather was born in 1915 in the church, in a black neighborhood. My father was born in 1936 in the church, in the black neighborhood, South Miami. You know, if you don't know the teachings, I can't speak for them. I don't know if they knew of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I don't know. My father eventually joined the nation sometime in the 60s because my mother's first son was baptized in the church. He wasn't born in the deen. They soon went to the deen by way of Nation Islam after my brother was born. He got me by 11 years, so that makes 62. I'm 73. So sometime from 62 on is when my father went into the nation. But he still and never stopped loving U.S. military. And if you didn't want to do that, he would suggest police. When he was coaching and training and became director of the City of Miami boxing program and had all them young guys out there under him, a lot of time the problematic guys, while they were still young, ain't hardly went to juvenile and all that, ain't no bad child, he'd tell them, he say, to quote him, especially the bullies, he would tell them, you be a police officer, because you like to tell people what to do. You like to exert authority, go be an authority. Well, you can get away with that, and it'll be right. My father even talked to the commissioner in the City of Miami Metro-Dade around the time of the riots about how, pretty much like Brother Lyle, Brothers of the Same Mind, right down the date. No, Circle of Brotherhood, my bad. Circle of Brotherhood. Brother Lyle and a few other brothers, they get together, World and all them, Sundog and them, they sit down and train, especially new recruits, officers on community relations, how to interact with the community and all that to keep the community and the police working in cohesion with neighborhood watch and MAD and all that kind of stuff they got, the organization they got that come together in the community, and ultimately, while they primarily are together on those issues, somebody gonna have to dial 911 and deal with the police officer when they respond. So, brothers up north. Circle of brotherhood, circle of brotherhood, circle of brotherhood, circle, 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 360 degrees. Circle of brotherhood, they have brothers that talk to the police, Miami-Dade and city of Miami, about that. They have workshops. Minister Anthony Durden, all them high five, I call them high five. Minister Anthony Durden, if I refer to high five again in this post, I'm talking about Minister Anthony Durden. By mistake, because I called him high five first, right? From the swamp to the swamp, Vietnam to Compton. Yeah. Now, that's why I say it starts at home. I truly believe my father's a master, is a 33rd degree Mason. You do past master and high priest and all that probably before. I don't know what you call 33rd degree. I started saying master Mason, but really he says I'm a master barber. And he says I'm a 33rd degree Mason. Now I know Prince Hall Masonry goes up to my grandfather and great-grandfather, paternal. They don't talk much about my maternal grandfather, Peter Gabriel. They did break us off about my maternal grandmother. She's Creek, Geechee Gullah, Creek Muskogee, Geechee Gullah. I know that much. That's her heritage. Bama, Alabama, Florida Panhandle, and Southwest Georgia, most definitely. And we all, anybody know, Geechee Gullah go all up the Eastern Seaboard, and Blase Squad came out of, definitely Midgard, right? So I'm saying that to say, when I say the attacks are real, I'm behind the 8 ball from the jump. I don't even have the support I deserve even from like this. Anytime I got in a fight, I just had to step on the gas and whip ass. Thank God I never lost a real fight. A real fight. When me and this person really trying to hurt each other for real. No friendly shit. We ain't talking about no play wrestling, no slap box, none of that. No PAL gym, no with the head, no, none of that. We talking about two people who really trying to F each other up real bad. I took off every time. When I finally got a Sensei Jerry class, one thing Sensei Jerry Denson, Professor Jerry Denson, Shamsuddin would do on Sundays, he would sit us down with a ditto sheet. Those are the days we talk about really going to fight science. What comes before the actual interaction. How you should be. In Nisi Goju, permission to enter the floor, Sensei, we come out and do the virtuals. We say, I will always practice patience. We should always practice. I would have to do about 50,000 push-ups with Sensei Nasty Jesse. I'd have messed up already. I will always stay in the fighting spirit of Nisi Goju Karate. Or we should always stay in the fighting spirit of Nisi Goju Karate. We should always practice patience. We should always practice courtesy. We will be quick to seize opportunity. Nothing is impossible. We should always be aware. Now, those virtuals can be built upon for eons. Sensei Jerry did it definitely every Sunday. He had a child class on Sunday too. So I'll be there sometime when he was out by his sister house by the Carroll City Chief. Right before the children leave, I'd be sitting out when I come early. And then our time will come. And he'll sit us down. And we'll start talking about accountability. Number one. Main thing, accountability. Unlearning bad habits we pick up from Hollywood, wherever we got it from. Right? One of the main things I remember on the fight tip is Silam Fook Da Kung Fu. Now we have 10-ounce gloves in boxing. We have rules and Muay Thai and all that. You got a referee. You got judges. If it's a tournament, something like, you're going to have police there. You know, for anybody get too out of line, they're going to go to jail. They're going to get a charge. But we do Sanuki's Ryu Jiu-Jitsu up under Sensei Jerry. But since he has the background he has, we get Nisi-Go. We get Kempo. We get all the other stuff in the Nisi-Go-Ju. Because our Sensei Jerry has that background. Right? Whatever's clever. So, when we talking about survival, since it's Sanuki Ryu Jiu-Jitsu, and a lot of his students either used to compete in tournaments or they just started because they're young, he has to remind them over and over again. When we go to Sunrise and places like that, remember the rule. We sign that document. If we hurt somebody, we're going to be held accountable. In real world, whether it be domestic or whatever, wherever you are, if you hurt somebody, you're going to be held accountable. So you have to have that part of fight science of conflict resolution. Now, before you can get to conflict resolution, there's a step before that. To where you purport yourself in such a way where there is no conflict. How? If you get on your game, your A game, basic instruction before leaving Earth, G code, it'd be very, very minimum. So that was Sunday. We would talk about those type of things, and even we'll go into, like I say, for example, Silam Fook Dot Kung Fu, where we want to stay loose. We want to stay non-combative. We do stuff like this when we're around family, at the family picnic, at church somewhere. We stand like this. We stand like this. A lot of people who try to teach you etiquette and stuff like that say don't, like I'm doing, they say don't do that. Don't talk with your hands. And that's very polite, if you want to go there. And these are the stances you want to have in mind when you're thinking about self-defense. See all this here? All this here? You don't go around doing that. You carrying shopping bags in a Target parking lot somewhere. Got your back turned to the whole parking lot, digging down. You got the baby over here. We talking about that. Human trafficking. Before you know it, you can't scream. Your feet off the ground. Somebody putting duct tape on you, put a pillowcase over your head or something like that. Nobody see you no more. They might find your remains. Maybe. That's what this is primarily for. Human trafficking, false imprisonment, attempted murder, attempted assault, attempted battery. Because if we can defend ourselves from the universe, right? Walk our post in a perfect manner, guard our post at all times, maybe it won't happen. So Silam Fook got to talk about that. Taki no sin and all that. Things that can get you in trouble, but sometimes we got to gamble. You want to be dead and innocent, or you want to have to go against the Florida bar, whatever state you in, wherever you are, and be alive. Judged by 12 instead of carried by 6. What you want? So I just put that little piece in there because a lot of people ask it for all them. It's a lot of that stuff on YouTube and all through cyberspace. It's a lot of that. Get you some. Shaolin teaches about the 5 elders. They teach about Umar the Nun. They teach about the Ming Dynasty, Qing Dynasty. And one thing they found out in Shaolin Temple was that they kept beating all the other people that challenged them because Shaolin Temple was not closed. The Masonic Hall has a blue ceiling. Why? It represents the real world. When they open up themselves to the world, they got knowledge, volumes like this, stacking up scrolls and scrolls, because they shared. They didn't hide it. All the ones trying to have a little small little cell, kept their circle small, they come with that little whatever. Charlene got a treasure chest, foot pool deep. They seeing things they ain't never seen before. Before you know what's happening, you're on your back. Might be unconscious, KO, TKO, outpointed, outscored. Get out of here. Matter of fact, come here. Stop that. Come on here with us. We got an open door policy. Right? But sport and play is cool. It keep you in nice shape, you know, and stuff like that. And you can get medals and trophies and stuff like that. But the main thing is this sanguine. It's mine. I plan on staying in this spacesuit for a long time. And if the Inquisition agents are wrong, the dirty Moors, and all them wasn't effing with me so bad, I'd be in better shape. Every time I get in shape, they start shit. The roof cave in. The rent go up. The tenants want to fight. They want to shoot. Anything but let me hit the weight pound again, run around the regulation track, do another push-up. No, if I'm going to do that, I got to go to jail. This is a heavy drug culture here, too. Florida. I ain't snorting no cocaine. Smoking no boom. No high grade. Right? None of that. Drinking no alcohol. Popping no pill. I look bad because they won't let me do what I need to do. If you go to any personal trainer, they gonna give you a basic list of things, if you serious, what you need to do. They always fucking with something on that goddamn list. With their goddamn ass. They shut down Hadley Park. Yeah. Start to say something else. Manor Park. They call Gibson Park Manor Park and Hadley Park with Manor Park. But Gibson Park is Gibson Park. Hadley Park is Hadley Park. Carrie P. mixed in a Harry Park. They shut that jive down for eons one time. Matter of fact, Miami Mac had just had a fight at Club Sounder. Got his tooth chipped. Right? Some of the main guys that came, they really wasn't fighting. They were trying to stop him from fighting a dude from Uptown. Because he was in there selling out with the promoters. When Mac was with some other promoters. So them dudes that were doing security, we basically workout partners. We milk them, but we don't work out together. We could if I just asked, because they got their little circle, but I do my job all over. Right? They shut that gym down, seemed like forever. I'm on the bike, no car. That's my only weight pound I can get to right quick. Come back, have a hot meal at the crib. And to be honest, I don't know a lot of stuff at now because a lot of bosses, Daddy and Dick Lee. When Daddy and Dick Lee retired in 99, 98, it went down. Somebody stepped up, I can't remember the name, somebody stepped up, tried to revive it. They told Daddy, man, boy, I don't know how you kept that running. I didn't know it was that hard. You had to work that hard. Lee Gilbert, Joe Johnson. They've been trying to get me to revive the program. But they know more people than me. I ain't sat down with hardly nobody face to face and talked to none of them. I go to the gym every blue moon. Wouldn't talk, chat no man. See, ever since I was like this, I was a man myself. My mom used to call me her man when I was like 1 or 2 years old. But I carried myself like an adult. And all you gotta do is don't talk much. You fit right in with the 40 plus crowd. We fit right in. Right? So I never really, and I knew my daddy had trophies bigger than me. Trophy this high, one trophy this high, this wide. Marble base with the gold, that fake gold and with the reef and some box on there doing something like this, something like that with a name, J Mackey, or his whole name, Jimmy Mackey, James, all over the house. We had one of the biggest houses in that part of Chatillon, 561 Northwest 53rd Street. Had a Florida room, a living room, 1, 2, 3 bedrooms, and they turned the back into a little living, a little like a efficiency, right? 2 baths. Trophies all around that stuff, from this big to this high. So I assumed my old boy was gonna start training me when he felt like I was old enough, so I waited patiently. I waited and waited and waited till I ended up in his face when he was about to go really senile. And then in 97, I tried to get him trained, but then too, he did. When I came back from Mohaven, Wacker Hut, he did. Immediately I went to paper chasing to fix my phony arrest, wrongful incarceration and all that. Get a lawyer, get a good attorney, and also to get money for boxing and martial arts and all the stuff I was in, because I had never been taught. I had to pick shit up, had to make shit up, but it kept me alive. Like I say, I ain't never got my ass whooped ever. Ask these niggas. It got to the point, niggas have passed me a gun. While they doing their thing, they give me a gun. Happy I showed up. That's the type of reputation I had of being the type of person, basically a bodyguard. Because what we used to do coming up, we actually were bodyguard for each other. Every single one had everybody else. That's the bodyguard, all your partners. We wouldn't let nobody misuse, take advantage of our partners or their family or their neighbors. That's how we roll. That's why a lot of times they say down by law was bullies. They probably did bully. I don't know. I wasn't with them all the time. But I know. Oh, Shawty, don't get wrong, Shawty. Shawty, oh, but no, don't get wrong, Shawty. I know that much. Because you're going to see what you think is tech wood. You're going to think it's tech wood. No, that's East Lake Meadows and a whole lot of other shit. Probably some tech wood, too. GT. Goddamn truth. Nigga, I don't give a fuck from what I seen. You got nigga gotta tell me different. I don't care if it was one of us or more. Somebody getting drugged. Nigga gotta tell me, no, such and such. Well, I ain't never heard that. I ain't never seen that. And I'm one of the ones that got tried when I was by myself. And I'm one of the smallest ones. Really ain't officially really in it. More fitted than anything. I just put so much work in over the years, I can look back now and say, yeah. Yeah. Because we was up under who the media made into the leader by saying his name so much on the news, Time Magazine, Life Magazine, 20, 60 Minutes. When Timothy Peanut Harris got murked, I can say we came up under the leader. I call it child protection law. Because we used to protect a lot of young niggas our age. Go to the crib. Go to their neighborhood. Right? To do what we had to do. So when they start getting LLCs and stuff like that, man, off the record, I didn't have to sign no application and all that. I didn't have to go to target practice and get a concealed weapon license or weapon license. No, I just had my guns. And how we used to do it coming up, we wouldn't have no guns. So when the DeKalb County, Fulton County come fucking with us, we clean. Now what? Now we can talk shit. Take the badge off, nigga. Take the gun off, nigga, run one. We can talk shit. Oh, you don't want nowadays, shawty. You don't want nowadays, shawty. Ain't nothing, shawty. What's up with taking off then? All right, then. Well, why you? Because we clean. That's what we like to do. Now you catch a dirty, who knows what might happen? Probably just go to jail, whatever. So, like I'm saying, I had to use what Sensei Jerry gave us on Sundays without even knowing him. Because you can get, it's home training. It's basically home training. You done went to school, you went to church, you got a good, decent family circle, whatever, with your extended family and all that, you should get a lot of that, right? Common sense. Basic instruction before leaving Earth. What became to us G-code. On being old code. A lot of that shit ain't nothing but church boy, choir boy jive. Keep y'all a lot of trouble. Right? But like I say, the attacks are real. They will not let up. They will not let me raise a son. If I have a daughter or another child is supposed to be my son, they won't. It looks like if I don't get down on these two knees, right, give it up, or give some out to somebody got the same thing I got, player. My life gonna be living hell till they put me in the ground 10 toes down or flat on my back, depending on who buried me. These MFers are relentless in their pursuit to break a mother down, to get you to sell your soul to the devil and do the most low down shit. By the basis of straight before leaving Earth, you will never, not without the grace of God, you will never get up there. You're going to hell. You're going, that's what I've been taught. You're going to hell. Sodom and Gomorrah. You're going to hell. Lot, Abraham. Just for looking back. They say his wife got turned to a pillar of salt. They taught me, I'm hearing this when I'm this big. I'm in my mother's womb, she teaching University of Islam. Father HawtyyyReddd, now Sister Cloud Muhammad, which I eventually enrolled into myself. Studied the Prophet Muhammad Ibn Abdullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Quran and Sunnah. And I'm amongst Muslims my whole life. So when Grand Shay talk about that infiltration, the great sellout grave, day in the morning. When he talk about that grave, day in the morning. Huh? When they talk about Samuel Saxon, Rahman, and all that, you better listen.